What is love? If you're still searching for something, then what is love? If it's building up to nothing, we'll never see how far we've come, but we're still not high enough.
Welcome back everyone to my Arsenal career on FM16. You join me for today's games. The first one, we are at Anfield to take on Liverpool in the Premier League. It is the lunchtime kickoff at 12:45. Elsewhere, you've got Chelsea taking on Newcastle. Manchester United will play Aston Villa at home, Stoke and Norwich, and the evening kickoff at 5:30. Tottenham against Man City. So without further ado, let's go and jump into the game. And whilst I remember, we have had a bit of a blow because Gonzalo Higuain in training suffered a sports hernia and he's going to be out for 3 weeks. So not too bad, but we have got some big games coming up. Obviously this next one against Liverpool away, then we've got Newcastle at home, and then we've got the big game against Chelsea, and I don't think he's going to be back for that. Thankfully he will miss the international break and not be rushed into action too much. Espina's also out injured. It's the Arsenal curse, isn't it? As the season goes on, they pick up so many injuries, so we'll have to bring in Martinez as a backup to Petr Cech. It's Liverpool against Arsenal. Jurgen Klopp has gone for a 4-4-1-1 formation with Danny Ings starting up front on his own as Firmino drops into that number 10 role. Coutinho and Mane start out wide in central midfield. They've got Lucas and James Milner, who scored both goals in that game against Chelsea on the opening day with those 2 penalties. At the back, they've got Klein, Matip, Saka, Moreno. On the bench, Alan Balotelli, Lallana. A team that's had a decent start to the new season. Only 2 games have been played, but they beat Chelsea, as I've already mentioned, on the opening day, which I'm sure did wonders for the confidence of the players heading into that next game against Newcastle, but it wasn't enough to see them over the finishing line. So for Arsenal then, Olivier Giroud comes in to replace the injured Higuain. Out on the left, Sanchez, Ozil in the number 10. Chamberlain, Ramsey and Xhaka all start. No changes for the back 4. John Stones still on the bench and Petr Cech starts in goal. Cazorla is on the bench for the first time this season. Alex Iwobi there as well. We'll just get the instructions done and the team talk. We'll jump straight into this third game of the new season. Here we go then. It's Liverpool against Arsenal. Now what I'm thinking of doing here, I'm just going to try it out with this one game, is change it to 3D, because I know one of you guys requested that in the previous episode in the comments below. So we'll put it on TV, get a better view of everything. Here is Mane now on the ball, finds Firmino, good challenge there from Ramsey. And that's the end of that highlight. So far so good then, with just over 5 minutes gone. Controlling possession, it's just the feeling out process at the moment. There we go, that's more like it as it goes down to about 52%. We'd expect more of a challenge coming from Liverpool, seeing that they are playing at home here at Anfield. Let's be calm, let's encourage the players. We've got another highlight. Ozil goes down. Sanchez to Giroud, surrounded by Liverpool players. So Ramsey out wide to Monreal. This is a good move. Sanchez finds Giroud. Oh my word. It's his first start for Arsenal this season. He's got his season underway with a good finish. Simple, cool as you like. Mignolet pulled off his line. Sanchez does so well to get into the penalty area. Beats all those Liverpool players, and just a simple tap in for Giroud. Nicely done. Bellerin with the throw. Gives it to Xhaka, who's on a yellow card. Got to be very careful with the next 45 minutes. Chamberlain, he's got a slight head injury, but everything seems to be okay for him at the moment. Here is Bellerin. You know what, I'm gonna switch this to close. Let's get closer to the action. Right, Bellerin to Chamberlain. Chamberlain back to Bellerin. Good interplay there. And that is a penalty. A brilliant opportunity to go and double our lead. It's going to be Ozil to step up and take it. And it's James Milner that's conceded that for his team. The player that scored both penalties that secured their win over Chelsea at Stamford Bridge. Here is Ozil then to make it 2-0. And he does. Top right corner. 2-0 to Arsenal. That's his first goal of the season. I'm not going to take Chamberlain off just yet. Or maybe, you know what, I'm going to switch this back to 2D. not really working out. Coutinho whips in the ball from that corner. Here is Mane on the outside, but it's lost as Bellerin finds Giroud. Plenty of space. He's got plenty of options as well. Back to Chamberlain. That is a cross and a half. Back to Giroud. And he's scored his second goal. He's on for a hat-trick on his first start for Arsenal this season. An incredible way to get your season up and running as a striker. What a header. Cool and calm, as always, the Frenchman. Joe Allen to Mane. Koscielny. It's Monreal. We're just passing the ball around now, nice and patiently. The game's pretty much over. We could be on for a fourth, which would be incredible. Oh no, Xhaka! No, he's off. We're down to 10 men when we're 3-0 up as well. Why couldn't he have just held in there? I'm going to have to... I'm going to bring on Coughlin then. And what we'll do with Coughlin is ball-winning midfielder. I know he's a natural there, but what I'm going to do is drop him back. And I'll give him... not deep line playmaker. I'll put him as anchor man. Again, I know he's not a natural of that, but it's packing out the defence just to make sure we don't... I don't want to concede any goals. It's been a perfect performance. Coutinho in. Go on, Bellerin, chase it down. He does. And that is full time here at Anfield. Liverpool have been absolutely dominated by the visitors, Arsenal. Fantastic performance. A real professional job. 2 goals from Giroud wrap things up. And also Mesut Ozil with that penalty kick. Beautiful. That's what I want to see. Struggled to get back into the team now. I don't think so. He's an important player and will return as quick as possible. So there you go. Even Stevens when it comes to shots and shots on target. But it just goes to show that we were a lot more clinical in front of goal for this game as we go right back to the top of the Premier League. 9 points to our name. Oh, for crying out... Oh, it's only 4 to 5 days with that facial injury for Alex Oxlade-Chamberlain, who will most likely miss our next game at home to Newcastle. I'm sure Theo Walcott can fill in. I will give Xhaka a warning. 3 strikes and you're out. Or dropped. Giroud on form. He was amazing against Liverpool. Absolutely split their defence a new one. That was his first start as well for the season for Arsenal, even though he did have a couple of minutes in one of the previous games after coming off the bench, but didn't score. I think it was the Community Shield final. Klopp disappointed at humbling defeat. It was a poor performance and a poor result, and there's much work ahead, he says. And Granit Xhaka accepts his warning. Not only is it the Capital One Cup third round draw right now, but in just a moment we've got a Champions League group stage draw. Can't wait for that. Can't wait to see who we're going to be drawn against, who we've got to go through in this year's Champions League. So we have been drawn away to Port Vale in the Capital One Cup third round. On paper, should be a walk in the park. Good opportunity for me to play some youngsters. Manchester United have got Chelsea. Big fixture that for the third round. Liverpool are away to Swansea. Villa will play Watford. And West Ham against Charlton. So, not a bad draw. I'm really happy with that. As I say, good opportunity to give some of the youngsters some minutes out on the pitch for this game. Oh man, here we go. The Champions League group stage draw is upon us. I'm feeling a bit tense, a bit excited as well. Can't wait to see which 3 teams we're going to be drawn against and who we will have to go through in hope of qualifying for the knockout stages. So we are in the second seeds. Right, I'm thinking for this one, I'm going to do an automatic draw. There's not that many groups. We should be able to fly through it. So, in Group A then, out first is Chelsea. In Group B, Bayern Munich. Group C, PSV. Group D, FC Barcelona. These are all the teams that have won their league the previous season in the first seeds. There is Benfica. So, second seeds, Atletico Madrid. Oh my god, in Group B, it's Bayern Munich and Arsenal. Straight away, that is a massive challenge. Barcelona have got Manchester United. Some big groups here. Group F, Juventus and Valencia. Look at that. Group G, PSG and Real Madrid. In Group B, oh my word, we've got Lyon. Lyon and Bayern Munich. Oh man. This is going to be a tough campaign in this year's Champions League. Can we get through to the knockout stages? Let's find out. So we could get Celtic, Mönchengladbach, Wolfsburg, or Ludogorets. I'm not sure who I would want. Does it really matter? Here we go. So Wolfsburg are in Group A. That's a tough group there for Chelsea and Roma. So we've also got Celtic as well. So Bayern, Lyon and Celtic are the 3 teams that we are going to have to go through if we want to be qualifying for the knockout stages in this year's Champions League. What a group. Bayern and Arsenal, Lyon. Elsewhere, you've got Barcelona and Man United, Dynamo Kiev in Group D. And I think it was Group F which stood out as well for me. Valencia, Juventus, Sporting Lisbon and Borussia Mönchengladbach. And in Real Madrid's group, they've got Galatasaray and Pilsen. The Champions League has messed up my plans because what I originally planned to do for this episode was play that Newcastle game off camera and then come back to you guys with the Chelsea game. But because the group stages have now been drawn, what I've decided to do is add the Newcastle game at the end of this episode. So for episode 5, you'll be able to see the Chelsea and Olympique Lyon fixtures with live com as always. Bayern Munich is the second game for the group stages, which will be at the Emirates. That will be in a later episode, which you guys can look forward to. Newcastle did well against Liverpool in getting a point in their second game. Hopefully they don't do the same here today, as I really want to keep up this good run at the moment. You can see that Chamberlain, Ozil, Sanchez and Giroud, they'll start going forwards. Coughlin comes in to replace the banned Xhaka. He plays alongside Ramsey. No changes at the back. Ospina starts in goal. He came back from injury to replace the injured Petr Cech. Once again, the Arsenal curse coming in. Look at that. Petr Cech out for 6 to 9 days with a damaged shoulder. Not too bad. When I first saw the announcement, I was a bit worried because we've got that big game against Chelsea coming up. But we also have the international duty. So plenty of time for Cech to get back to full fitness with that damaged shoulder. So that is pretty much my team then for this next game against Newcastle. Elneny starts on the bench for Newcastle then. Miroslav Klose starts up front, who they signed on a free. He is getting on a bit though, but can still get the job done. The legs may be gone, but the quality is still there. Torvin, Sissoko, they both start out wide. De Jong there in number 10. Tiote, Anita in midfield. Well, defensive mid sort of position. Yamat starts. Tim Krul, who could be a real pain in the neck in trying to put anything past. Wijnaldum starts on the bench with Matt Ritchie as well. Not a bad bench actually for Newcastle. Just piling the pressure on. I'm loving this at the moment. Under 20 minutes gone. Ozil out wide to Monreal. Back in. He does, and that's a penalty. That is another penalty for Arsenal. This will be 2 penalties in a row for the start of this new season. And it's Ozil to step up and take it to get his second goal of the season. Can he do it? I'm sure he can. He's going to tuck this one away to make it 1-0 to Arsenal. Oh, Tim Krul saves. Krul has saved it, keeping his team in this one. That's for Klose, but Koscielny just comes forward, reads the game so well. Giroud, through ball past Ramsey. And Krul with another good save for Newcastle. What a good move, though, from Arsenal. A lot of creativity on show. And Giroud almost made it 1-0 with that header. And Koscielny again, just coming forwards. Being that commanding centre-back that we need him to be. Just dominant at the back, not letting them get a sniff on goal. Here is Sanchez to Ozil! And Krul with another amazing save. Ozil is unfortunately going off for Arsenal. He was brilliant in the first half, but the second half he's just got worse. He's lacked that creativity which he's known for. Now, Giroud, I'm thinking to take off. I mean, Walcott can play as a striker, as we know, but I think he's better out wide on the right. But I'm not sure whether Walcott is the right man for this game. What I might do, and if we was to drop Walcott, no, I'm not going to do it. I'm going to take the chance. I'm going to take this risk, and I'm going to bring on Alex Iwobi. Let's see what he can do. Sanchez, Cazorla. What a ball that is to Monreal from Cazorla. Sanchez in! And Krul He is an absolute machine in goal for Newcastle. It's still 0-0 and Cazorla's corner kick is poor. Could have done so much better with that. It's hit the near post. Should have known there was a Newcastle man on that post as well, marking. Time is running out. Still 0-0 here at the Emirates. Not the best performance. I mean, Newcastle are dictating possession. Cazorla to Bellerin, whip it in, son. Iwobi! Iwobi makes it 1-0. That's his first goal of the season and will most likely be the winning goal. The risk paying off big time for Arsenal. What a ball that was into the box from Bellerin. Where is Iwobi? Let's bring him up here. Can we highlight him? There he is. Let's roll the footage. Cazorla out wide to Bellerin. Iwobi offside at that point, but then he was played onside by Jack Colback. Here is Iwobi. What a ball that is into the box. Driven low and hard from Bellerin. And Iwobi simply taps that past Krul, who I thought we weren't going to beat here today. He's been in fine form. Been really impressive. Tim Krul for Newcastle. And there is the final whistle. We have won 1-0 here against Newcastle. We have got another 3 points to our name on the league table. We are still unbeaten in the league. It was a bit of a let-off. We weren't good enough and we'll have to step things up for our next game against Chelsea. But we do have the break now, the international break that is. So hopefully the players will go away, play their games for their national side and come back feeling refreshed. But look at that. Top of the table, 12 points, 4 games played, 4 games won. It's an incredible start to this season, to this career with Arsenal. The Gunners win against Newcastle. What a moment that was for Alex Iwobi, coming off the bench and scoring the winner. But rightly so, Tim Krul receives the player of the match. So, up next for Arsenal, look at that, all those green dots. It's amazing. Up next then for Arsenal, we've got Chelsea away in the league. And then we've got Lyon as we kick off our Champions League campaign this season. That is all in the next episode. Hope you guys can join me for that. Hope you've enjoyed this episode. And as always, thanks for watching, guys.